Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our tutorials. Today we are diving into a super important topic in HTML, and that is HTML lists. By the end of this video, you are going to understand everything about HTML lists, what they are, why we use them, and all the different types with real examples. So without wasting any time, let's jump right in. Alright, so first things first, what exactly are HTML lists? HTML lists allow web developers to group a set of related items together in a list format. Just like how you write a shopping list or a to-do list in real life, HTML gives us the power to display information in a clean, organized, and structured way on a web page. Okay, now HTML gives us three types of lists, and we are going to cover each one of them in complete detail today. So these are the three types. Let me show you. The number one is unordered lists. Okay, one is unordered lists. Number two is ordered lists. And number three is description lists. Okay, so let's start with the first one, and that is unordered lists. So the first type is called an unordered list. An unordered list is used when the order of the items does not matter. For example, if I'm listing the ingredients of a recipe, it doesn't matter if I write flour first or sugar first. Okay, the order is not important. That's when we use an unordered list. In HTML, we create an unordered list using the UL tag. Okay, we use the UL tag, that means unordered list. Okay, and every single item in the list is written using the li tag. Okay, we use the li tag, and you know the li stands for list item. Okay, let me show you the syntax, so how it looks like. So if you use, for example, ul tag, and you write here li, you write, for example, coffee, then you use the li tag again and you write here tea, then you use li tag and write here milk. Okay, so let me open up the preview tab so you can check the effect of the code. Okay, so here as you can see, let me write here. So here we open the ul tag, then for every item we write the li, okay, the item name, and then closes it with the li, and at the very end we close the entire list with the ul. Now when this renders in the browser, what do you see? Each item gets a bullet point in front of it by default, so it will show coffee, tea, milk. Okay, so these bullet points are automatically added by the browser. You don't have to write anything extra for that. Okay, now here is where it gets interesting. You can actually change the style of these bullet points using the CSS list style type property. Okay, so what we are going to use here, list style type property. Okay, its name. So there are three values you can use: the disk value, the circle value, and the square value. So for example, in the ul tag, if I use the style attribute and I use the the property, that is list style type, and if I set it to disk, okay, so this is the default filled circle bullet. And if I set it to, for example, circle, as you can see, this gives you a hollow circle. You can check the effect in the preview tab too. Okay, so if I set it to square, as you can see, this gives you a filled square. Now as you can see, we have used the square. Now every bullet point will appear as a small square instead of a circle. So how cool is that, no? Okay, all right, moving on to the second type, and that is ordered lists. An ordered list is used when the order of items does matter. For example, step-by-step instructions, a recipe process, okay, a top 10 ranking, anything where sequence is important. That's when we use an ordered list. In HTML, we create an ordered list using the OL tag. Okay, the OL stands for ordered list. Just like before, each item inside is written with the li tag, list item tag. Okay, the syntax, let me show you the syntax of this ordered list. Okay, so use for example li wake up. Okay, these are the instructions: wake up, brush your teeth, and I'm gonna write here for example have breakfast. Then I'm gonna write here li go to work. Okay, so when this renders in browser, instead of bullet points, each item gets a number in front of it automatically. So it shows up, as you can see in the preview tab: wake up, brush your teeth, number 3 have breakfast, number 4 go to work. Okay, the browser automatically handles the numbering for you. You don't have to manually type 1 2 3. Okay, HTML does it for you. Now, just like unordered lists have different bullet styles, ordered lists also have different type attributes that you can use to change what kind of numbering or labeling is shown. So here are all the options. For example, type 1, this is the default. It uses number 1 2 3. Type A, type small capital A, type I, and type I small capital. So for example, in order list, if I use the type attribute and I set it to for example 1, so this is the default. It uses numbers like 1 2 3 4 and so on. If I use here A, okay, so you can check the effect. This uses uppercase letters like A B C D and so on. And if I use small capital letter A, so you can see this uses the lowercase letters A B C D. Okay, so if I use here I, and you can check the effect, this uses uppercase Roman numerals 1 2 3 and 4. And if I use small I mean small letter I, this uses lowercase Roman numerals 1 2 3 and 4. So in this example I'm going to use here A. Okay, so this would display, as you can see, A, I mean wake up, B, brush your teeth, C, have breakfast, and D, go to work. Now there are two more really useful attributes for ordered lists that most beginners don't know about. Let me tell you about them. The first one is the start attribute. This lets you control which number or letter the list starts from. For example, if you use this attribute, the start attribute, and you set it to 5, okay, so this list will start from 5 instead of 1. So it shows 5 6 7 8 and so on. This is really useful when you have a list that continues from a previous section. Okay, the second one is the reversed attribute. This makes your list count backwards instead of forwards. So if you have 5 items or 4 items, it goes 4 3 2 1 or 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, so if you use this like I'm gonna use this reversed, so you can see it goes 4 3 2 and 1. Okay, now let's talk about the third and final type, that is description lists. Description list is a little different from the other two. It is used when you want to display a list of terms along with their descriptions or definitions. Think of it like a glossary or a dictionary style list. In HTML, we use three tags to create a description list. The first one is the DL tag. Okay, so DL stands for, let me write here, description list. Okay, another tag we use, that is DT tag. Okay, it stands for description term, and it holds the word or term you want to define. The third is DD tag. The DD stands for description detail. Okay, so it holds the definition or description of that term. So let me show you the syntax of this. If you use for example DL tag and you use DT and you write here for example HTML, then you write here DD, I mean description detail, and you write here HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Okay, then you use again for example DT tag and you write here CSS and you write here description detail tag dd tag, and you write here, for example, css stands for cascading style sheets. Okay, so if you write here again the dt tag, and you write, for example, javascript, then you use the description detail tag dd tag, and you write here, for example, javascript is a programming language. Okay, so let me close this tag. So as you can see, when this renders in the browser, the term appears on its own line, and the description appears below it, slightly indented to the right. It creates a very clean definition style layout that is perfect for FAQs, glossaries, and product descriptions. Now, here is a bonus concept that takes your HTML lists to the next level, and that is nested lists. A nested list simply means a list inside another list. Okay? Nested lists. It means a list inside an other list. Okay, you can put a list inside a list item. So this is super useful for creating subcategories or multi-level menus. For example, let me show you how it works. If you use ul and you use, right, for example, li, and you write here fruit. So what you are going to use here, you are going to write here ul again, and I'm going to write, for example, li, and I'm going to write here apple. Then I'm going to write here, for example, banana, and I'm going to write here, for example, mango. Okay, so it as you can see, if I close this tag and I again start the with the vegetables, and I start here ul tag again, and li, I write here, for example, carrot. Then I write here, for example, uh, broccoli. So, and again I write here spinach. Okay, so here we have an outer unordered list with two items, fruits and vegetables, and inside each of those items we have another unordered list with the specific examples. The browser will indent the inner list automatically so it looks perfectly structured. You can also nest an ordered list inside an unordered list, or mix and match however you need. The possibilities are completely flexible. Okay, so let's quickly talk about how to style your lists using CSS, because plain lists can look boring, and as a web developer, you'll always want to make things look great. So sometimes you don't want any bullets or numbers at all. For example, when making a navigation menu, you can remove them like this. For example, if you use here, let me show you how this works. You need the style tag. So in style tag, we are going to cover the UL, and I'm going to write here list style type attribute, and I'm going to set it to none. And if you set this, uh, okay, so in this way you can remove the bullets, and you can also add padding or margin to li, I mean the list item elements, to make the list easier to read. So if you do this, for example, let me show you how this works. So for example, if you use cover li and you add padding, okay, and you set it to 8px 0, so you can check the effect in the preview tab. So let me show you another tag, okay, another effect. So you can style list items just like any other HTML element. So for example, if you cover li and you use color, okay, so color for example would be dark blue, and if you use here the font size attribute and set it to 18px, then you can check the effect. And if you use the font family as an attribute and you set it to Arial and sans, for example, sans serif, okay, so you can check the effect in the preview tab too. So this is one of the most practical real world uses of lists. You take an unordered list, remove the bullets, and make the items display side by side using display inline or display flex. This is exactly how most websites navigation menus are built behind the scenes. Okay, so if you use, for example, let me show you another effect. So if you use here ul and you use the list style type attribute and set it to none, okay, then you use, for example, display, set it to flex, and if you use, for example, the gap as an attribute and set it to 20 px, okay, in this way the effect is totally different. So okay everyone, let's do a super quick recap of everything we learned today. We have learned about HTML lists, unordered lists, ordered lists, and description lists. We also, we also observed the nested lists that allow you to place a list inside another list for multi-level structures. So you can style lists with the CSS to customize the appearance and create things like navigation menus. And that's a complete wrap on HTML lists. I really hope this video made everything crystal clear for you. If you found this helpful, please give this video a big thumbs up. It genuinely helps the channel grow and lets me know you want more content like this. Also drop a comment below and tell me which type of list did you find the most useful. I read every single comment. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that red subscribe button right now so you don't miss our upcoming videos where we will be covering more HTML topics, CSS, and so much more on our journey to becoming complete web developers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.